Welcome to SB405D Project Management. My name is Felicia Frida and Aqua. I'll be taking you through this course, of course. We're in Unit 6, which is Project Risk and Quality Management, and we are going to summarize or finish our discussion in Unit 6 by looking out for monitoring and controlling project risk. By the end of this session, you should be able to explain some importance of project quality management, explain project quality management implication process as well. So we're going to focus our discussion on the project management concept, and we're saying that when it comes to quality, yes, in your triangle, you realize quality is somewhere in the middle there because essentially whatever you do is going to affect the quality, and there's a need for us to manage it as well. So what is project quality management, PQM? We're saying that is the process and activities of the performing organization or the institution which is actually carrying out the project that determines the quality policies, objectives, and responsibilities so that the project will be able to satisfy the needs for which it is being undertaken. Every project is set up with a need or an objective in mind, and there's something some value we want to give towards our customers or our final consumers of the project. And at the end of the day, we need to be able to determine quality policies, objectives, and responsibilities in order for us to be able to achieve that set goal. So the use of policies and procedures to implement within the project context the organization's quality management system and as appropriate supports the continuous improvement activities as undertaken on behalf of the performing organization. So project quality management is all about ensuring that the project requirements, which includes the product requirement or the service you are carrying out, the requirements are actually met and validated. That is all that we want to look out for in here. So it begins by, yes, there's a process that it has to go in with, and it starts by first setting the quality requirement or standards. We can't do any control without us having a standard we can work with. So it begins by setting a standard. You can't do controlling without setting a standard. So yes, the quality we want, the quality requirements, the various expectations we have in there regarding the project quality, we need to be able to state it visibly for everyone to also know about it. Then we need to also audit the quality requirements and the results from the quality measurement as well. We've been mentioning project updates and project document updates and all those ones because they are very important. As you are doing the project, there are things that are going to come up, things you didn't foresee or even come to mind when you are doing it. And so there's a need for you to constantly audit your quality requirement to reflect or incorporate all the things which are coming up in to make it better for your project and even the projects that would come afterwards, what you are doing. And there's a need to monitor and control quality. This is what we said that we wanted this grade A or something with our project. Now we are getting C or B. What is going wrong? We then need to find out what is going on by monitoring the actual performance of the project on the ground and then comparing it with the set quality requirements which we have in here. So once we're able to do that and we're able to do the corrective measures, then we are able to report it to our stakeholders for them to know where we are on the project or what is going on in the project. And we've been making constant mention of the fact that communication is key for the project. Whatever is happening, they should be aware of the progress of the project at every point in time. So it's actually very prudent these days not to even just look at customer satisfaction, but about delighting your customer. Because when you're able to delight your customer, he would always come back to you and you can do more business with the person and you can also earn more as a business. So it is very prudent for you to be able to not just understand them, but you should be able to evaluate, define, and manage the agreed requirements which you have with the customers in order for you to be able to satisfy or meet their expectations. If you're not able to do these, it will be hard for you to meet their what expectations. And if you don't meet your customers' expectation, before you realize, they'll be at another place, or they'll find someone else, another institution or organization to run that project for you. So to achieve this, there is a need to combine um, conformance to requirements that ensures that the project produces what it was created to produce, and fitness for use, goods and services that will satisfy the real need. So if you said you wanted, UCC says you want a 25 lecture theater, modern lecture theater, at the end of the day, we should be able to finish and give them the 25 lecture theater. You don't finish, and then what you built is what, an auditorium. That is not what they asked for. And then the product must be able to what, have the fitness for use. So you've built a lecture theater and you finish, there's no stairs. How do they use the place? It's just the structure which is there. Or you said you're going to what do you call it, build a community toilet or something. You finish, and then it's just the building. There is no toilet facilities in there for them to be able to use. So your product must, or service must be able to what, solve the real need, or why it was actually what created for them. When you add value to their lives, they are always going to what, build that relationship with you and always come back to you as well. There's a need to look out for prevention instead of what, inspection. When you are proactive, you realize that a lot of the risk and things are checked. You realize that the cost also what goes down. It is cheaper to actually prevent things than to control things when they happen. And so we're saying that quality should be what, planned, designed, and built into the project, and not inspection into the project management or the project deliverables. It is very important that we plan, design, and build rather than just wait to just be inspecting and trying to monitor and control issues as well. So, like I was making mention earlier, that the cost of preventing mistakes is always what, lesser than the cost of what, correcting mistakes. So we are inspecting to what, monitor and then be able to control. But with some of the things, we can actually what, be more proactive and then go into prevent, which will also save us some sort of what, money. We have the continuous improvement, which is saying that the concept of quality control, quality project management can be found in the Six Sigma and then the TQM, the total quality management, which featured usually focusing on what, prevention over inspection concepts. So whether your business is small or there are incremental changes throughout large ones, opportunity to identify and address change by applying constant monitoring and documenting any issues that come up as a lesson to improve what other phases of the project in future. We're saying that as you are doing the project, things will be happening, things will be coming up. Some of them you've planned for it, some of them you didn't plan for it. But there's a need for us to what, constantly monitor and document anything that comes up as a lesson, in order for us to be able to what, improve the project and even for future use. And we made mention in our earlier session when it comes to what, how to close the project. Now when we are closing the project, the documents, one of the key documents needed is the historic data, where we are sharing the lessons learned what, on that project. And that lessons learned should also include what, the TQ, your quality management issues in there as well. There's also the management responsibility. Now, when it comes to project quality as well, there's also responsibility for the management as well. Yes, all members of the team are supposed to be a part of it, and we've been talking about inclusiveness, because if everybody is on board, they feel it is their own, they buy into it, and they're able to put in the most towards it. However, management retains the responsibility for quality. If things don't go well, management is the one who is going to be what, answerable for it. And so a related responsibility to provide suitable resources at adequate capacities is very much required by management. And there's also the need for us to look out for the cost of quality. So there's a potential that exists that some portions of the required work may not be done or has not been done correctly. Now, the cost of quality may be incurred throughout the deliverables life cycle. And aside the post quality cost, it may also be even recurred or incurred when the product is what returned, warranty claims, and all those recall campaigns. Sometimes you may want to give your customers some sort of assurance. So you may tell them, oh, I'm going to give you 1 year warranty, I'm going to give you 6 months warranty, I'm going to give you 3 years warranty. Sometimes you may give them the option that if you go and then this thing is defective and these terms and conditions are met, then you bring it back, we'll change it for you. All this returns, and sometimes in the projects you do, you realize that there is a serious defect which you'd have to call back that whole consignment or that whole batch. And all of these come with their own cost, especially after the project has gone to the consumer or the customer. And all these costs would have to be accounted to, especially by the managers as well for the project. So once we're done, we need to be able to look at for the implementation of the project quality management. And there's a need for us to, one, plan quality, two, quality assurance, and then quality control. So yes, we need to begin by planning for quality. What needs to be done with our project regarding to quality? What do we have to put in place? What strategies do you have to put in place for us to be able to meet that quality objective we have in mind, or that quality standard we have in mind? So that is when we are doing the plan quality, and it's not good to do it just verbally or in your head or something. It must be documented. It must be written. It must be something which we can have access to at any point in time, whether it is going to be soft copy, Word document, or it's going to be hard paper. It must be documented. That is what matters the most. And then once you're able to plan the quality, we then need to do the quality assurance and make sure that yes, whatever we are doing on ground is matching the set quality standards we've set up in there. And so we need to be checking and monitoring and making sure that we are doing the policeman work, but making sure that what we want to get is what we are doing. Then we need to also do the quality control to ensure that whenever there's variations or deviations between the set standard and then what we really have in mind towards our and the quality standards we want, then we put in corrective measures. So it is very important when you are implementing total quality management to look out for yes, the plan quality, what we want to really do, the quality standards we want to set up and work with. It's equally important to also even continuously look out for quality assurance in them, and to also do the quality control. Typically in the University of Cape Coast, for those who do a lot of the regular, you realize that sometimes DAPCA, they are in charge of quality. You see them come to the lecture halls to make sure, especially at the beginning of the semester, to make sure that yes, the lecturers are there, they are teaching and all those ones. The setup is good for teaching, the students are okay and all those ones. They are all quality assurance measures they take in at the implementing stage. So there are some tools and techniques which can be used to do this quality management issues we've been talking about. One is what we call the cause and effect diagram, which is more of a representative of what is causing it and what is going to happen as a result of it. We have the flow chart, which tells you what activity comes first, what goes next, what goes next. So there's a flow, it helps you know the workflow in the quality side as well. We also have the check sheet, which is also like the tally sheet, which is usually for actually taking records of things as they are working. We have the Pareto diagram, which is a form of a vertical diagram, which usually is used to pick out some few vital indicators which may be really causing a lot of the problems we are having on the project. We have the histogram, we have the control charts, we have the scatter diagrams. These are all tools and techniques you can actually use when you're working on your project quality management. So in this session, we've looked at quality management strategies, and I hope you did enjoy this unit. I hope you did enjoy this session. I hope most of all, you've learned a lot when it comes to project management as well. Thank you.